God, glorious day.
All right. Now you are allowed to speak.
I'm allowed to speak?
Yeah.
Jesus, typical white people. But no, I was saying white. Oh yeah, you act so white. That's crazy. You carry yourself with privilege. I get confused sometimes. So
All right. You were saying earlier?
I played a gay male today. Played.
Sure.
Pretty good acting.
3, 2, 1. Hey guys, welcome to Nerd Locker Podcast, your entertainment podcast for everything movies, television, video games, and more. My name's Adam.
Oliver.
And today we are talking about Season 2, Episode 6 of Invincible.
Season 2?
Season 2. It's in Season 2,
Oh,
Episode
yeah.
6, yeah. So, guys, this went out crazy. We start out, Rex has gun to the back of his head, just like at the end of the last episode, and boom, trigger gets pulled. Dead. That's how we start off the episode. Bullet through the head, Rex is dead. So it seems. And then we jump from there, because that's just how you open something. We jump to squids attacking the Guardians. And they're trying to... Eve's knocked out. Shapesmith starts to help. He covers them up in a dome.
Yeah,
he gets bit
them.
to shit. And eventually they get this EMP working. They throw it up. Immortal grabs it and then gets fucking knocked by fucking Mark. And he's like, hey, you suck. Let me do this. And he's just like... All right. So he ends up running over to the fucking Livingston. I think it's Russ Livingston. I should know this. Russ Livingston. And they use the EMP. It works. But then Eve and Rudy get taken over. And now you have, like, I'm surprised they didn't use Eve's powers.
They did a little bit when she woke up.
No, the squids.
Oh, the squids that did it. Right.
Because Rudy is just a human without the armor.
They just started running.
Yeah. I was like...
That was weird.
Why didn't... Like, you just saw what she could do.
Yeah, what are
you could have stopped them from attacking. Yeah.
Right.
So they're obviously not... It shows right there that they don't use... Or they don't at least know, apparently, how to use powers. Mm-hmm. So they need to remember that. Like, obviously, like, they were flying away, but it felt like the squids were pulling them as much as they were not using their powers. I'm like, if they took over Mark, that means they don't know how to use Mark's powers. They just have him. I think that's true.
I think it's just, like, human capabilities.
Yeah, like, they can control you, but they don't know how to make your things work, per se. If you have to do something, like, concentrate, I guess. Yeah. So we have that. They end up getting taken over, but then they use the EMP again by some kind of luck, and it works. So they get everyone out. They're about to leave. The Martians are mad at Shapesmith. They say, well, we're going to put him on trial. What does that mean? He's going to die. They're like,
Death.
Well, nah. So they run away, and then fucking Mark, after getting shot at a couple times, was like, fuck this, and goes full Captain Marvel, better than Brie Larson ever did, to go and like
up all the
fucks
ships.
all of them up.
So cool.
So now everything's like, yeah, we did it. Then they get back, and then they realize, before they get back, we get Rex on the ground bleeding out. Serpent King's calling whoever he is and saying, like, everyone's dead. You guys are screwed. Give me what I want. And they're like, nah. And then Rex gets up somehow with blood spurting out of here, like literally losing more blood than I think anyone could ever walk like that and lose that.
Yeah,
but
he doesn't have a hand. He's got a bullet in the brain.
And he's like, you could hear like the what is the like when a bomb goes off or like something, that ringing.
Oh yeah.
They had that on when
ringing.
Like he was like looking at him and it was like fuzzy.
Yeah.
So he's like gone, but he has adrenaline and he's like, I just gotta kill you. So he just starts boom. I'm surprised the Serpent King knocked down so quickly, but I don't know how hard Rex was like punching,
with his with his handless arm.
Because he was about to pull the gun out, he like knocks it out of his hand, just like bop bop bop, and then just picks him up by the hair and just starts fucking doming him with his bones, and then drops him on the ground, and then keeps stomping on him while they run in, and they're like, sir, you okay? And he like says, I'm practically, and then they cut to the title card. Then they come back to him. He knocks out, and then all of a sudden we see Shrinking Ray's alive. And that's weird because in the comics, Shrinking Ray was gender swapped and was killed the same way, like killed. Mm-hmm. So whatever they're doing with that character, they're going somewhere with her. I don't know exactly what. But then after that, Mark gets back, tells everyone about the squids and everything else. And like, I felt kind of bad for Russ because like as they were moving him, he was like, I just want to go home. I need to sleep.
Dude, he hasn't
they
slept
don't
in so long.
Dude, you know how many years? Because space time to then,
poor guy.
bro. Yeah. So like, I'm like, also good thing that his body didn't age.
Yeah, what's up with
After
that?
all that time? So I don't know if the squids did that. Like, I wonder if they're going to establish that because like, how long have you been gone? Unless it maybe hasn't been that long. Maybe it's been like a year or two.
Say he had like a wife and kids? And
yeah.
stuff?
So like, I don't know how they're gonna work all this through because you still this day have two of them still on Earth.
Yeah.
Like whether or not Squid or not, Shapesmith looks like you. Same voice actor, obviously, but like, what's gonna happen there?
It's gonna be weird.
But then again, Rex and Rudy are the same person too.
Yeah.
But younger
also
clone,
weird.
you know, like
Also
Benjamin
weird.
Button disease kind of thing.
I
But
feel like it doesn't matter as long as like
yeah.
it's superheroes. No one
Yeah,
cares.
it's something weird.
one
Yeah.
looks at it.
So they end up finding out everyone died. Immortal has a lot of issues because he's realizing he loved Kate more than everyone else because she actually changed him. So he's already said thank you to Mark. So he's going through like he needs better help.
like
He needs better help so bad.
crisis
Yeah.
going on.
So Immortal, if you're out there, better help. We get a discount. But so he's going through that, and then we have Mark and Amber who are having some issues, and they definitely should not be together. It's very plain they don't need to be together. So that seems to be an issue, and he wants to Spider-Man 2 himself out of that bitch. And we were talking about this earlier, but like loved ones and superheroes, like they don't work, and it's just that's your weak point. And I think as much as I'm tired of seeing it, I like this way they're tackling it, you know, because
What do you mean?
in the like, so example, Mary Jane and Spider-Man, like it definitely seemed like, yes, at the end of Spider-Man 2, she would like kisses him after she finds out who he is, and she's like, go get him, Tiger.
Yeah.
But then in the next movie, she's like, you never spent
like,
time with me, and blah, blah, blah. Like, you're always saving people.
Yeah.
So it kind of like backtracks, where with Amber,
Amber understands.
she understands, and also like even when she was gonna text him, I miss you, she was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that because it's just gonna make him feel bad.
Though.
Yeah, so like I feel bad for her because she doesn't deserve this, but Mark also does deserve to feel love. So like it does suck, but it's just the way it is. And I have a funny feeling with like, and I'm jumping ahead of myself, but like with Angstrom Levy coming back and the multiple dimensions, I feel like we're gonna find a dimension where there is a Mark that probably doesn't have powers, and maybe Mark will see like, oh, it's not that nice without powers, or that Mark's gonna die, you know, like
That's
easily.
true.
Like Angstrom might kill him just to kill him.
Right.
Like if he's living with Amber, maybe this Mark without powers, they broke up, it was really bad breakup, blah blah blah. He goes like, we don't know what would happen without it. So I think we'll get him to like get that like It's a Wonderful Life sequence, whether it be this season or next season. He will be around because Angstrom Levy is a like. Spoiler for everyone, he's going to be around basically to the
I was
end.
gonna say we haven't seen a lot of them.
He's going to be around to the end, essentially, of the show. Like, he's a very recurring villain.
I figured.
Yeah, he's not, like, the end one, but, like, he gets, like, if they go to, like, 6 seasons, because right now they're in the 30s of issues, so, like, they're in end of Compendium 1, which is the first 50 issues, so, like, 3 and 4 will probably be Compendium 2, and then 5 and 6 will be Compendium 3.
Damn.
Probably end there, because that's the end of the series if they get there. So, like, I see Angstrom till, like, season 5.
Wow.
So, like, he'll be around. Because there's multiple versions of him, because, like, even though they're all in that head right now,
Okay, I see.
eventually something will happen, but, like, there's so many other... Yeah, so... And they're all, like, linked at the moment. That's the thing. Like, what he was doing was linking all of them together. So, like, they all have this shared hive mind, like the squids.
Yeah,
Same thing. Sorry. So, jumping back, we have that, and then with Mark and Amber, and I'm going to predict it. They're going to break up.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Obviously, guys, I know a lot of the comics. I want to just say, like, I'm not trying to say, like, oh, I know this and then I don't know this. I'm trying not to spoil some stuff, not only just for him, but for you guys. I'll reveal it afterwards if things go different or it's already been said. But the other thing with that in mind is we have a new character now that has a name. Cecil goes to visit Mark's mom, who's taken care of.
April? Oh, me, Oliver.
April, meet Oliver. So she's taking care of Oliver, who is Mark's brother, now has a name, which is named after Mark's grandpa. And we get like this whole nanny thing. First, Mrs. Doubtfire spy. And then we get April come in, and she's
I
like...
love that. She's like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. So then afterwards, she gets a knock on the door, and Mark's mom opens it up, and it's April, and she's like, hey, I'm from Cecil. I'm going to tell you right out all this stuff. And she tells her that I'm good with, like, different alien stuff, and, like, she knows everything about the Thraxans, the Viltrumites, all that stuff. And it seems like, as of right now, it definitely seems like she's going to help and everything. And it seems that Oliver likes her and also is growing literally day by day, because like in the beginning of the episode she's picking him up because he can only crawl, but yet by the end of it he's walking already. So it's like, damn, that was fast. That was a day, or a couple of days, I think. I don't know, it's kind of weird. When we go back to Mark's house, it's always daytime. It's weird, so I don't know when they're at. It kind of seems like they're the side step, but minor spoilers here. Actually, I'll go into a bunch of spoilers, but before I do that, here's a word from our sponsor. And thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. With BetterHelp, you could tap into a network of 30,000 licensed and experienced therapists who, can help you with a wide range of issues. And like, when you start out, you answer a few questions, and any preferences you have for therapy, whether it be for a certain thing you want to try to get over, whether it be maybe too sporadic, anxiety, paranoia, whatever it is that you guys are going through, you can find the right therapist for you by just answering a couple of simple questions. And you can also talk to the therapist that fits mostly for you. If you find out you're not a fit with this therapist, or it's someone that you don't really want to talk to, or just maybe doesn't get you, you're able to change any time, any place, completely for free, which is, I think, in my case, a really cool thing. As well as you can get via text with your therapist, you can do video call, you can do just phone call. So like, it's whatever you really feel, and you could change it up every single week. If you want to like tell your therapist, hey, I don't think I have time to take a video call, can I just take a phone call on the drive back from work? Like, you can just talk to your therapist whenever you need to unwind and make those schedules for yourself. So it's really cool.
Exactly what Adam said. You can message your therapist at any time and schedule live sessions when it's convenient for you. If your therapist isn't right fit for any reason, you can switch it to a new therapist that is a more accustomed to your liking for no additional charge. With BetterHelp, you can get the same professionalism and quality you expect in an in-office therapy session, but with a therapist who is custom picked for you. More scheduling flexibility and at a more affordable price. Get 10% off of your first month at betterhelp.com/nerdlocker. Again, that's 10% off betterhelp.com/nerdlocker, and we will have the link down below in the description.
Remember, guys, mental health is just as important as your physical health. Keep yourselves in check. This episode is sponsored by 7th Inc. Just so you guys know, we have these cool horror t-shirts, and what's nice... He's a seahorse. Mine is the Nevermore shirt. So there's a local artist here in the Florida area that we are good friends with, Matt. He has a company, 7th Inc, that he designs all of these, as well as he has other designs on there that are from his daughter, who goes to her college fund and stuff. Yeah, all those different like little cute ones. That's his daughter. God. Yeah, so she also helps out with that. He has a very massive collection of original art on different button-ups, t-shirts, hoodies. He has pins, coasters, patches, so many cool things. He also has a Patreon that you guys can subscribe to, or a club that is linked through Patreon that you guys can get exclusive things. Like this Nevermore shirt is exclusive to Patreon, even says on the tag. And you guys can get limited edition colors of certain things. So if you guys know about Pokemon, there's a thing of like shiny variants. So you kind of get shiny variants of these different t-shirts. So this one is an exclusive, but sometimes he has red to green for like certain Christmas ones, and Halloween ones have different inverse of colors. So you can find all of that on his website at 7think.com. And if you guys use our code ANGEL, ANGEL, at checkout, anytime you check out, you will get 10% off. That's 10% off every single time you check out. That's not a one-time code. That's an anytime code.
I thought we were just helping the guy out.
No, you guys can get 10% off anytime you see a new thing. It doesn't go for the subscription services, but it does go for any of your orders. Okay. So if you see that new shirt and you want to use our code, you type type that in, you're going to get 10% off that new shirt that you've been wanting. So link down below, check him out. He's got some amazing stuff. New things are coming out, I know, for summer. So you guys can get some more summer stuff. He has tank tops and bathing suits. So look out for new designs.
Keep in mind, Matt's a local artist, so like we try and our best to support local artists. So please check him out if you haven't done so already. We'd really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Matt.
And we're back. So spoilers from here on out. Oliver does eventually in the comics become
Not me.
Not you.
Okay.
But Mark's brother will eventually take on the moniker of Omni-Man Jr. What that means, we'll find out. But he will eventually take on that moniker as he grows older and gets into his Viltrumite powers.
Okay.
Now, the other thing I kind of want to get into spoilers about is, do you think... Okay, so there might be a time jump between 4 and 5, or 5 and 6, depending. Okay. And again, everything has changed. Shrinking Ray's still alive, all this stuff. So whatever I say... If it happens, I'm sorry. If it doesn't, you at least know what the other alternative was. So there will be a time jump with Mark way into his 40s.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And we will see a life that he finally deserves to live with Eve and children. He will get there.
The Mark that we know?
Yes.
Okay.
This will be the Mark that we know. He will have a happy ending. No matter what, he's going to have a happy ending by this. Mm-hmm. He's going to go through a lot of shit. The thing is with that time jump, it's a lot of issues with Angstrom Levy and everything that he goes through. Because in the comics, there was a point where he goes and meets a whole bunch of his other self, and we talked about this before. But he meets a lot of his other futures or versions of himself, not future selves. And also, weirdly, I think it was just because they wanted to cross it over. He also gets into Spider-Man's universe and meets Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
So Spider-Man and Invincible know each other, so that's kind of weird. Also, we kind of saw with at the end of this episode, Angstrom Levy is going through dimensions, and we see this zombie universe, and I'm like, is that The Walking Dead? Because it's Robert Kirkman.
About Walking Dead.
So Walking Dead might be canon to Invincible. I don't remember anything in the comics. I do know that in the Walking Dead show, Carl, when you see him in the beginning, in the first season, he's reading a comic book. It's an Invincible comic book.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he wears an Invincible shirt at one point, too.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so... Because that came out before The Walking Dead comic-wise, 5 years before The Walking Dead.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So this was his first baby before The Walking Dead. So everything was referenced there. Trying to figure that out.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. 2011, or no, Walking Dead started in 2004. Maybe Walking Dead was first. I don't remember.
I'm not really sure either.
Let me
Comic
see.
book or TV show?
Comic book. So he started with career. He did Invincible in 2003, and Walking Dead was shortly after.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, Invincible was first.
Damn.
So other thing that I'm going to say, and this might happen, this might not, biggest spoiler. Sorry to you, because you're not really prepared for this. Duplicate.
Oh, God,
so,
what happens?
She's not dead.
What? Why?
So, guys, if they do this right, and the reason I say if is because they don't have to the way that they did this. So, she basically dies the same way in the comic. We go a long time with us thinking she's dead. We probably won't get this until season 4 or 5. That's why I say, things could change. Robert could change his mind, blah, blah, blah. But eventually, Immortal can feel her presence. He's like, huh. And she ends up revealing herself to him. She was living out in the outskirts of nowhere years back when she almost died a different time. She decided that can never happen again.
Cool.
So I'm the original, and she duplicated one person of herself to act as the original for the rest of it. So this whole, but she shares the same mind. So she still was with Immortal. She was still with Rex. She remembers everything, but she's been doing that in seclusion in a house out in the middle of nowhere.
That's kind of cool.
And when she finally tells Immortal, he breaks the fuck down, but she explains to him I needed to tell you eventually because I know how much you're going through. I see you on the TV. I see all that stuff. But yeah, so technically, if I'm correct, if they don't change it, because again, Shrinky Ray's alive, so maybe they gave it to her instead of Duplicate, the storyline. So I don't know, whatever it is, because Duplicate does help with some fights, but it could just be Shrinking Ray. And then, yeah, so Duplicate may not be dead.
Kind of cool, though. Damn.
But that's a cool way out.
That is a cool way
out. No one knows kind of thing. So
I mean, in a way,
Yeah.
they kind of like alluded to that because Amber was looking for what's her name? Pink girl.
Eve.
And she was like, "Oh, I walked by this place like 5 times." Like,
Yeah.
maybe duplicates
Somewhere in there.
Somewhere
yeah.
in there.
Yeah. So we don't really know where we're going to go with that. And then obviously one other thing that I'm really excited for that I know they're sticking to is Nolan. Because at the end of this episode, guys, we have Nolan is in a Viltrumite prison because we didn't even talk about Alan. Hold on real quick. So Alan comes down and fucking Immortal shows up because Cecil's like, what's that? And Immortal's like, that's Omni-Man. He goes up there, starts beating on Alan. Alan's like, wait a minute, I'm not trying to fight.
Take it easy.
Mark comes up, separates them, and then Alan calls Immortal a douchebag. And he's like, wait, do you guys have that on your world? So universal term, guys, douchebag. And then he also says, like, you have all the, and screw your beard because it's missing all the best parts of the beard right here.
Right here.
Which is weird because Viltrumites only have mustaches.
I
So I'm
know.
surprised that's
Super
his.
weird.
Yeah. So anyways, so Immortal like figures out like, okay, he's not a threat and like goes away. And then Alan's like, what's his deal? He's like, his girlfriend just died. He's like, oh, well, now I feel like the douchebag. And then he also tells Mark to point where he lives. Like, so he knows next time.
Right? Like,
yeah.
what the fuck?
How is that going to help you
The
in
Earth
space?
rotates.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
I don't know. Alan knows that. So Alan goes to Mark's room. Mark puts his sock on the door, and Alan's like, in my world, a sock on the door means someone's fucking.
We fuck.
And
Which
so,
is the same meaning.
yeah, it's the same meaning here. So they talk about stuff, and Mark shows the books that he got from Art that are the ones that Nolan told him to read, which are basically ways to kill Viltrumites. It's blueprints of their weaknesses and how to destroy them. So Alan scans them, flies off. And then we see Nolan in a Viltrumite prison who is not talking, not saying a fucking word, and being thrown around. And they're not going to kill him yet, but now they just threaten Earth. And it kind of seems like that pissed him off a little bit. He was like, you ain't going to... So that's what I'm really excited about is no matter how much they're changing, they're keeping one thing very true, and that is Omni-Man's redemption.
Okay.
And
right.
it will happen. And it's going to get fucking... gnarly.
And we got another episode, next Thursday?
Yeah. Oh, it's not going to happen anytime soon. His redemption is going to be a very long
But I mean,
one.
in general, we got another episode
We have
next
2 more.
Thursday, right?
Yeah, we have 2 more before the season's over. And then season 3 hopefully will start at the end of this year instead of waiting 2 years.
Yeah, for real.
Which I guess Steven Yen has said, like, it should be out sooner than last time.
Okay,
Don't know what
good.
that means. Because anything less than 2 years is less than last time.
I don't... Thanks, Steven.
1 year, 11 months.
Steven, you got one job.
One job. Just tell us when. Tell us when. But yeah, so honestly, this episode, after the craziness of the end of last episode, because it kind of started off slow and then hit hard, this one like kind of hit hard and didn't stop. It was just emotional hard. Like it went from death to now people reacting to the deaths, as
Right.
well as seeing like other things fall apart and die, which are relationships throughout all this. So it's very like, it was definitely a lot of mourning and growth into something new. So I kind of rate it like, I would give this one a 7.5, 7.5.
It was fun. I don't even know if I want to rate it.
We rated all the others.
I'm going to say a 7.
7? Yeah.
Do
I think it was good. A lot of gore, a lot of great,
like, what the fuck
a lot of great
moments.
lines,
Yeah.
especially from Alan.
Yeah.
Killer
fucking
lines. Even Rex.
Rex. sold
Rex
it
is
for me.
so
Rex
great,
sold
yeah.
it for me.
So such a good time, and I look forward to the next episode. I'm really sad we only have 2 more episodes left, but it's gonna be a good last 2 episodes. We're gonna see a lot of shit. If this is gonna end with the last or the first compendium, you guys are in for it. We're gonna have a lot of fun, a lot of blood.
Oh, God.
All right. Well, where can they find you?
You can find me on the Sphere 21 on any social media platform except for TikTok. I'm Oliver Kahn VA.
And you can find me at AMR Photography. You can find the studio at Archangel Studios, and you can find this podcast at Nerd Locker Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. Are you okay there, bud? Those are
These
hands.
are so dry.
You have hands, yeah.
I know.
Well, use lotion.
I lose.
Do you want me to
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna propose right now?
pee
Go ahead.
on?
No, go ahead.
Pee on them?
You want me? I didn't get a fucking jellyfish sting. Just dry hands.
So no.
Here, piano.
Bye, guys.